Hey, what's going on, traders? This is Taylor. Today is Tuesday, April 25th, and I'm doing the free video for tonight. So, big earnings this week. Google and Microsoft reported today, and they're looking pretty good here in the after hours. And then on Thursday, you got Amazon, and then next week, you got Apple. So, all kinds of catalysts coming up. You got a Fed meeting coming up. But as far as the charts in front of us, which I'm a firm believer, that is what matters most. We've had some problems brewing here on the 4-hour time frame. And now we find ourselves pretty much across the board with a bunch of big bad 4-hour squeezes that for now look a little bit more poised to want to fire short. Alright, so two things I think you want to focus on, and two things that go into my indicator, the buy and the sell signals here on the chart, the big three indicator, structure and momentum. So structure is, are you above the 50? Are you above the 21 EMA? Are our moving averages crossed positively? Are our EMAs stacked? All those kinds of things go into structure. But for me, the momentum part of the equation, the momentum ingredient, is just the MACD. All right, so down here on the big three histogram, this is just your MACD line. So for those of y'all that don't have the big three indicator, what you can do is throw the MACD on your chart. And these are the settings that I'm using in my signals. Fast length of 24, slow length of 52, and a MACD length of 9, and an average type of exponential. So throw that puppy on your charts, and when it comes to playing the ebbs and flows of the market, the goal should be to be your most aggressive when you're swing trading during the easy part of the move, whether it be a flush lower or a big push higher. So if you look at the QQQ here, right back here in mid-March, you get a 4-hour squeeze. And then notice on our MACD histogram, you get a fresh positive cross back above that zero line. So think of that as your gas tank. When that line crosses back above zero, the bulls have got a fresh tank of gas. So that 4-hour squeeze had the gas tank needed to fire to the upside. And from there, you're rocking and you're rolling. Alright, now what we started to notice was, once that line crosses back under zero, or in other words, once the gas tank is dry for the bulls, the party's kind of done and over with. Now it doesn't mean you get short, alright, it doesn't mean you look for the market to fall apart, but you've reached a point of exhaustion. You're no longer trending higher. Alright, you're not putting in that beautiful series of higher highs and higher lows. So now looking for that breakout, it ain't working anymore. So there's your negative cross in momentum, and I think the beauty of looking for that on your 4-hour chart is that's going to give you a nice heads up that you're reaching that point of exhaustion way before you get that on the daily chart. So I'll show you a few things here, but on the QQQ, after today's flush, yeah, it's easy to look at the chart and say things are a little bit suspect. We're taking out support, we're under the 21, we got a daily squeeze, but that negative shift in momentum on the 4-hour chart happens all the way back here. Back on April 10th. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days before any problems start showing up here on your daily chart. AMD gets a negative cross on the 4-hour chart back here pretty much the beginning of the month. A few weeks before your daily chart starts to roll over. NVIDIA sees that 4-hour chart tap out back here on the 5th. Right, you've lost your momentum, the easy part of that move, done and over with. Easy to see it on the daily chart, but that 4-hour gives you a nice heads up. Couple more here, the semiconductors. All right, and these were all really strong. Semiconductors, which look really ugly here today, gave you that heads up that they've reached that point of exhaustion back here on the 5th of April. All right, the gas tank is dry. So to look for that breakout, to look for that sustainable rally, the probabilities aren't really in your favor. So that's what we were seeing on the 4-hour charts. And now that exhaustion kind of causing some problems here on your daily charts. So like I mentioned, big earnings coming up. You got a Fed meeting coming up. But if we just kind of pretend that, the only thing we have access to is the charts in front of us, All right, no context of earnings, no context of a Fed meeting. Just good old price action, structure, momentum, and all the pretty colors. Things are pretty well aligned here for a little bit more of a flush lower. Now, personally, I don't think the market is about to get hammered, but I do think a lot of these 4-hour squeezes have got to fire short, let off a little bit of steam to the downside, and then we'll kind of take it from there. So, semiconductor sector officially fires that 4-hour squeeze short today. The QQQ still hasn't fired short. So notice up here, these magenta dots, that's my early sell signal I'm working on. So it's not the official sell signal, but it's my early heads up here that the structure, the momentum, right, everything's kind of leaning in the favor of the bears now. So again, the goal is when momentum, when structure, when everything's coming together, play that move aggressively to the upside. When momentum taps out, think a bit more like a day trader. Focus on a 5-minute chart, focus on the 15, don't look for that big breakout. Momentum no longer supportive of that breakout. And then if you get to the point where you're getting some sell signals, that might be your next swing trade. Looking for that 4-hour squeeze to fire short. So you got a 4-hour squeeze on the Qs, 4-hour squeeze on the SMH, a 4-hour squeeze on the IWM, and as of today's close, that prints a brand new sell signal. You have a 4-hour squeeze on Mamacita, the S&P 500 herself, and that gives you the early warning here today with that magenta dot. Bunch of 4-hour squeezes. AMD already fired short. Nvidia kind of hanging out here as support, but you're getting your magenta dots, and momentum has been under that zero line since, early April. Right, so now it's one of those things where under the surface, momentum is shifted negatively, structure has broken down, and now a lot of this is taking place inside of daily squeezes. So my suggestion, earnings aside, Fed meeting aside, kind of take that, top-down approach. All right, anchor to your daily squeezes. The QQQ has one, Nvidia has one. A lot of things have a daily squeeze right now. Anchor to your daily squeeze as far as your major focus, but then let your lower time frames, let everything inside that daily chart lead the way. And I think a great compass, so to say, is going to be these 4-hour squeezes, where you're kind of looking for that domino effect. And the QQQ is probably a great example. We're coiled up in a daily squeeze. At this point, we can see some problems developing. All right, the indicator goes from printing a buy signal to neutral. So bullish to neutral, taking out the 21 EMA, taking out some decent support, a break in momentum. While that all does lean a little bit more bearish, all right, the clues here are going to be the lower time frames. Looking for that domino effect. If that 4-hour squeeze fires short, it might go on to trigger your daily squeeze to fire short. Now, if you want to get a sense of whether or not your 4-hour squeeze can fire short, crank it down a notch and look at your signals on the 2-hour. At the moment the 2-hour squeeze fires short, and you got some 2-hour sell signals, your 1-hour chart has got some sell signals, your 30-minute chart has got a bunch of sell signals, and your 15. So from the top down and from the ground up, things are leaning a little bit more in the favor of the bears here. So watch your 4-hour squeezes. Either which way, they could go on to trigger your daily squeezes. But as far as my indicators go, things do lean a little bit more bearish for now. So to me, the whole question with Google earnings or Microsoft or Amazon or Apple, can any of these things put a Band-Aid over that 4-hour squeeze? So on the futures here, you got the same problem. All right, big giant 4-hour squeeze here in the NQ. And right now, the indicator prints a sell signal. All right, we're under the 21 EMA. Momentum has been under the zero line since the 18th. 2-hour chart is bearish. The 1-hour is bearish. Right now, everything kind of lines up for that 4-hour squeeze to fire short. So my only question with Microsoft or Google or any of these earnings is, can they put a Band-Aid over this? And the way they can put a Band-Aid over it in the short term is a big rip back above that 4-hour 21 EMA. Doesn't quote-unquote save the market, doesn't make the 4-hour chart bullish, but if anything, it can kind of stop the bleeding. And then maybe they try to stabilize and rebuild from there. So, as always, things can get a little bit interesting when you got headlines and catalysts and all these moments of uncertainty. But that, I think, is the combo to focus on for now. Last couple of weeks, you've had that negative break in momentum on your 4-hour charts. And now that's kind of taken a toll here on your daily charts. So watch your daily squeezes, watch your 4-hour squeezes, and we'll see what's up here next few weeks. But that's my level for you. 4-hour 21 EMA on the QQQ. If they can get it back above that level, things get interesting for the bulls. If they can't get it back above that level, the probabilities would suggest it's going to fire short. So as always, I hope you all found this helpful. If you did, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, and down in the comments, let me know who you think is going to win the NBA Finals this year. You already know I'm going with the Celtics, because I bleed that green. But alright guys, have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. Adios.
What's up traders? This is Taylor from Simpler Trading. I wanted to thank you for watching our video, and if you liked the video, go on ahead and comment down below, hit that like button, and make sure you're subscribed and hit that bell icon to get a notification anytime we upload our next video. And of course, if you want to watch us trade live in real time with our own money, check us out at simplertrading.com. Until then, trade safe, and I'll catch you in the next video.